Do you actually want to become a full-time creative? So I've been a full-time creative for about 3 years now, and I'm just going to deliver this as a warning to anyone who has it completely glamorized in their head. I'm here to sugarcoat it, as well as tell you some reasons why it's absolutely beautiful. Also, please don't take any aspect of this video as me complaining. I wouldn't trade anything that I do for the world. I am so blessed to do what I do today, and I absolutely love being a full-time creator. There are just some interesting things that I learned along the way that I didn't realize before I was in the position that I am in right now. So first, let's start with some cons of being a full-time creative. It's not all rainbows and butterflies. It is hard sometimes. In some ways, it is harder than a 9 to 5. Why do I say this? As someone who has worked in both positions, I have had a 9 to 5. When you get home from a 9 to 5, you get to turn your brain off to an extent versus when you are working for yourself, you are constantly thinking about your job. When you're choosing a creative field, you have to be very passionate and really love whatever it is that you are striving to do, because you're going to be doing whatever that thing is a lot, whether it's running a small business, being a content creator, being an artist, and you're going to run into many complications along the way. And you're going to have to learn so many new things that you didn't think you were going to. Like, before I became an artist, I didn't know anything about marketing or how to pack and ship orders and stuff like that. Like, just all the technical little stuff. I had to learn a lot of new skills that I didn't even think I would need to know before actually going into it. And there are a lot of complications that you run into that you don't have a boss to go ask, like, hey, how do I do this? Or like, how do we handle this issue? You're the boss and you just have to figure it out. And it's not as freeing of a life as it is all cracked up to be. You can also kill your creativity because you have to use it too much sometimes. This started happening to me with my art, unfortunately. About 6 months ago, I entered this kind of gnarly period of burnout creatively, and I just like didn't want to pick up a paintbrush, which is so out of character for me. But it happened because I was pushing myself too hard creatively, and that's definitely something that can happen. Your passion could turn into a chore, and you have to be ready for that. In terms of something like content creation, a lot of people think that they look at all these influencers and like their life looks so amazing and exciting, and it looks like they're just like la 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 with their little camera. But people don't see, I mean, I guess now these days people know what goes into creating content, but a lot of people don't even know what the back end looks like, or like the hours you spend scripting, content ideation. Like, there's so many things that actually go into content creation that people don't realize. User 72483 is behind the screen right now commenting, get a job, but it is a job. And I probably work more hours than you, Larry. Sorry, it's not a competition, but I just hate receiving that comment because I put in the work. Like, people put in the work behind the scenes and you just don't even see it. It just looks like a random YouTube video that's on your page, you know? A 10-minute video is not 10 minutes of work. It's a lot of work. Especially with starting this channel, I have seen a lot of people, and I've been experiencing a lot of new people that want to become content creators. There's a lot of you on this channel, and I feel like the biggest misconception about having a creative career is that because you are your own boss, you get to make your own schedule and you have more time, and it couldn't be more far from the opposite of that, especially in the beginning. You're going to at first probably be working the most hours you have in your entire life. Being a creative can also be very self-isolating. If you are a person that works or thrives on working in a social environment or working with a team, it might be a bit challenging for you. I personally love working alone. I work the best alone when no one's, bugging me or there's like external pressure. I like to place the pressure on myself. So working in isolation is actually really good for me. But if that's something that you need to thrive, maybe this isn't a path for you. Also, working for yourself is 100% more flexible than a 9 to 5. You get to make your own structure, but you also lose your stability in a lot of ways. There is an added pressure when your income is directly correlated to your performance. So you feel this pressure and need to constantly perform. I guess that happens in like a sales job too. But like also if you're someone that's an artist, like a painter like me, and you're looking to sell your art, you literally have to make a piece of art that someone likes so much they're willing to pay you money for it. And sometimes things that come out of your brain aren't like the best looking pieces of art for a wall, Not everything you're going to create is going to resonate with your audience. Like, sometimes I'll do a print job and my prints sell out like that, or I'll sell like 8 of them and I have a whole stack left. And I'm like, okay, they just didn't like this one as much. Like it's such a like perception game too, which is very interesting. Same thing goes with video or content creation. Like you could spend a week making a video and drop it on, like a lot of people upload on YouTube once a week. You can spend a week making a video and it gets half the amount of views as your other videos. And you're also getting half the amount of income. So you have to really be okay with that instability and like being able to handle the stress of that instability. These are just some downsides I've experienced with being a creative, but my love for what I do immensely outweighs the downsides. It's absolutely worth everything that I just mentioned for me personally, but there are also many pros to being a full-time creative, so let's talk about it. When you're working for yourself, you're working for your own dream, not someone else's dream. You get to learn so many amazing skills tailored to specifically what you want to learn about because it's your business and your passion. It's not like all these nitty-gritty skills you need to learn for a job that you're not like actually super passionate about. When you're working at a 9 to 5, it can get really rhythmic and like mundane, doing the same thing every single day. But when you work for yourself, you can make your own goals and create your own projects for yourself and kind of just like reset your compass whenever you'd like. If you find that you hate doing something, a lot of the times you can pivot and just do something else. One of my favorite things about being a creative is the lucky ones eventually get to help the people around them. This is such a major thing that fuels me. I would love to be able to hire my mom one day and just give my blue collar dad enough money to go fish all day and paint whenever he wants and just chill. Like he's old enough to retire and he's still working. I don't think he knows how to chill, but if I had enough money, I would make that man learn how to just hang out. I think he loves working. He likes having stuff to do. So I don't know. But wouldn't that be so cool if I could just be like, here's a boat, Dad? Imagine if something you did popped off enough for you to help your family somehow. Like, what 9 to 5 is really going to do that? A lot of 9 to 5s are, majority of 9 to 5s are salaries, like you're pretty fixed, right? Something cool about entrepreneurship or being a creative is something really could take off for you. Like you never know, or it couldn't. You got to be okay with both. So yeah, there's just so many cool things that could come out of working for yourself. And these are just some things that I've noticed, and you have to be okay with both things going into a creative field like this. But this is also a reminder that some hobbies are okay to just remain hobbies, and you could begin to resent them. If it's something that you really love and you don't want to hate, maybe evaluate some of the things that I just said. But yeah, so that's my take on becoming a full-time creative. Yep.